I love it. They're so useful.
They are so. I leave them all over the house.
Yeah.
Who knew?
I know, who knew? 45. It's time to take a coffee break now. We're starting with a look at how two key groups feel about the development of artificial intelligence.
Yeah, so we've all been talking about AI and how it could potentially replace jobs, and now there's research to actually back that, and it's talking about which professions may be the first to go, but also breaking down attitudes about AI. So experts who study it are much more optimistic about if it will improve jobs in the economy than the general public, but they acknowledge it will lead to job losses. So they broke it down. 73% said cashiers will go, truck drivers was 62%, journalists, 60%, factory workers, 60%, software engineers, 50%. So those are the top industries, but both experts and the public are skeptical about whether AI will have a positive impact on accurate news and election coverage. Even the experts are saying this and would like to see more control over how AI is used in their lives. Also, neither camp is confident that the government will regulate AI effectively or that companies will use it to develop things responsibly. And also, women are more skeptical about AI than men.
Oh, interesting.
And they said that might be because the traditional women's jobs might be the first to go. Like office manager and, secretary, that kind of thing.
I also feel like women tend to focus more on the details. And when you're talking about like details and accuracy, I think we're more inclined to be skeptical of how AI handles that.
Yeah.
Like the interesting thing about the journalist number to me is that if you're looking at social media now and how people are consuming their news, they're not consuming real information anyway.
Right.
So if that like maybe AI will help to flag things and say this isn't accurate. I don't want to take jobs away from real journal, but what are they saying is a real journalist these days? Is it someone that has taken the journalistic, oath and has standards and ethics, or is it like a podcaster?
I mean, it is beneficial because I know looking through scientific journals, sometimes that can be 500,000-600,000 pages long. You like it to be condensed, and it does condense it for you in a very good way, and it saves you some time. But yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to everything, right?
Yeah, but I thought the election coverage and the responsible use of it is pretty alarming when it comes to journalism and how to put news out there and consume news.
Well, and I know a lot of lawyers who also are enjoying using AI, but I don't want to hire a lawyer who's using AI.
Right.
Doing it. Anyway, lots to discuss there. So therapists are raising awareness of a form of infidelity that's on the rise with social media and specifically remote work. They're calling it micro cheating, and it happens to do with the fact that if you like somebody's picture, they're now equating it to maybe you used to get dressed up in the office because you knew you'd see Tommy at the water cooler. And so it's that whole idea of emotional cheating, right? So it's most people don't really care. Go ahead, like your coworkers' pictures or, comment on social media. But therapists are also saying if you are a partner of someone who you see doing this and you don't feel good about it, you should be able to talk a little bit about it, that there's no right and wrong in relationships. It comes down to preferences, but that you should discuss some of these actions to see and have boundaries around things like social media. So if somebody's feeling uncomfortable, you either stop doing it or you break up.
That's true, but it also goes to well, then why were you looking at all my likes, right? It can be kind of on both sides. And I think it depends what people like. Is it a picture thirst trap in a bikini? Or is it someone doing work or saving an animal? It depends on the context, I guess, right?
I agree.
I don't think I've ever checked my husband's likes.
Yeah.
I've just always been so confident that infidelity would not be an issue in our marriage that it's never even crossed my mind. So I don't know. I think that if you're really that hung up on how your partner is liking things on social media, that probably speaks to a larger issue in the relationship. It's not really the likes, right? That's just a symptom of the larger problem.
Well, I think that's what these therapists are saying, but I think what I was reading is that what ends up happening is that somebody feels uncomfortable bringing it up, and so then they're getting upset about it. The other person keeps doing the behavior, and then it leads to an explosion. So you need to be able to say, hey, why are you liking all those thirst trap bikini photos?
Just communicate. I know it's a novel concept, but communicate.
Communicate.
Well, people are thinking of creative ways to save money before prices spike due to tariffs, and some of the methods are going viral. So there was this viral TikTok video by Allison Talks Money, and she asked people to share their craziest ways to keep from spending money. And here's like a sampling of some of the responses she got. So one guy said, if you're looking at a t-shirt for $30, ask yourself, would you prefer the shirt or if someone just handed you $30 in cash? And if you say the cash, then you don't really want the shirt, right? Or if you have an urge to buy something, instead make a credit card payment, and that'll kind of, bring you back down to reality. It's very sobering, I think, every time I open my credit card bill. And then also ask yourself, will this item end up in a garage sale in a couple of years? If you say yes, you probably don't need it. And now one person said, this is kind of extreme, they actually lock up their credit cards, so then they have to unlock them if they want to use them. And they basically say, unless it's like something they really need, they don't want to go through all of that to do it.
Hassle.
So then they just don't purchase it.
You remember that Confessions of a Shopaholic? She had to put it in the freezer. She froze her credit cards.
Oh,
in like a huge ice block, so she had to go at it to get it out.
I mean, again, that's extreme, but have you guys ever done anything to like check yourself? Because especially for me, I can be so influenced by the ads that I'll see in my email or on social media. It knows what I like. So for me, just like avoiding clicking on things helps me not purchase them.
Especially because your credit cards are tied to a lot of things. It makes it so easy just to click and buy. I think that makes a difference too.
Yeah,
it's hard to lock up your credit cards.
There's a reason they all have apps
and
they make it
it's
easy
hard
for you.
to resist if something's on sale and you're like, oh, it's a good deal when you get it now. On sale? But is it really?
There we go. All right, well, an ancient animal's DNA has helped it return from extinction. Take a look. According to Colossal Biosciences, 3 young dire wolves carry the traits of the long-lost giant dogs. The company behind the De-extinction project said it used gene editing to modify the traits of existing animals. The team took DNA from a 13,000-year-old tooth and a 72,000-year-old skull to create what they say healthy dire wolf puppies are. Now, the animal's been extinct for more than 12,000 years. Now, scientists say they use cloning and gene editing technology to alter the genes of a gray wolf, the prehistoric dire wolf's closest living relative. The result is essentially a hybrid species, similar in appearance to its extinct forerunner. This was a huge topic of conversation at the dinner table last night.
I bet.
My son's a future paleontologist, and so I was texting back and forth with my friend Dean Lomax, and we were talking about this, and this was not peer-reviewed at all. And so the big thing about this is that when science comes out and gets these huge headlines, it's difficult because it wasn't peer-reviewed. So it's basically just them saying it. So my son was like, I was like, what do you think? Clickbait. It's just clickbait, Mom. And he's like, because in essence, you can't really produce an animal that's more than just a hybrid. You just can't do that at this point. So I'll be very curious to see how this ends up going down the road. But he says, no, it's not the real thing, Mom. So it shouldn't be shown.
I just think it's a slippery slope. It's like Jurassic Park. Like, I don't know that we need to be doing this kind of. I mean, they're cute.
Yeah. Yes, they are. And shouldn't we just be saving the animals that are already now about to go extinct? And that's what we kept going back and forth at the table last night.
I can't wait to have this discussion at our house tonight.
It was really, really cool because I didn't know a lot about it. And the gray wolf actually doesn't carry the exact genus and the genome of it. So it's interesting to see what they did to produce this, which in essence is just a hybrid.
It's pretty mind-blowing.
Yep. And that's today's coffee break.
Now you can get your Kcal News, weather, and live stream all in one place on the CBS News app. Download it free today.